Are we going?
Yeah, we're going. I'm wearing a hat today because I want to hide. Is that why you wear hats a lot?
It's not a therapy session, it's a top 10.
Okay, so we're doing our top 10 favorite moments / memories from 2019. We've had a lot of time during quarantine to reminisce about
This is true.
the good old days, and by the good old days, last year, 2019. So we both have 3 honorable mentions, and then we have 10, like our top 10. And
Agreed.
I think we chose these based on just like experiences that were meaningful, and we had fun, and they're memorable. And we're also doing this so that we can look back on this in the future, right?
Very true.
Okay, so my first
Start us off.
honorable mention is Easter. This is kind of,
Lovely.
I feel like this isn't that exciting of an explanation, but we all went to my grandma's house.
This is true.
The AC was off.
Horrible.
It was fun though, and
It was fun, but we did an Easter egg hunt in the backyard, and my butt was sweating.
but my whole family was there. It was super fun. We had good food. Yeah, it was just a nice time. So honorable mention.
And Grandma and everyone looked like the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, insert picture
And
of
I
that.
also looked like a chubby father of 4 who can't make ends meet.
My gosh, shush. You kind of look like a used car salesman, I feel like.
I think that was a pretty accurate description. Agreed.
Okay.
Don't look at my list. Number 3, Christmas.
This is my number 6.
But let me discuss first. It's my turn.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about when you think about Christmas? You think of snow, family, togetherness, shopping, just good vibes. And you know, Christmas, it's just always a great time. Family gets together, we have a lovely meal. It's all kumbaya in the system, the solar system. I don't know, but yeah, no, just a good time. Nothing too memorable, nothing crazy happened, but it was just nice seeing everybody.
For me, it's number 6 because I was going on a trip on the day after Christmas. I left December 26th. I had to remember what day Christmas was there for a second. For Nepal. So I wanted Christmas to be, wanted to fit as much as possible into Christmas and like see everyone that I cared about. So I went to your house, went to my aunt's house, my mom's house, made it everywhere, and felt like I actually got to see everyone and spend time with everyone.
So busy though.
Yeah, it was pretty hectic. I do like Christmas when I'm not going on trips because then I can just like relax and
I'm saying you hit 3 households and then left for the airport by 5.
yeah, so, but I still had a good time, so that's number 6 on my list. So my next honorable mention, I'm gonna skip this because I know this is higher on your list and I don't want to talk about it right now.
I don't know what it is, but let's go ahead.
Yeah, so, but my last honorable mention is
fully white. Sorry.
So am I. My last honorable mention is our anniversary in Chicago. Every year for our anniversary, we go to Chicago, and our anniversary is January 3rd, so it's right at the beginning of 2019. And every year we go to Lincoln Park Zoo. We go get food somewhere new. We always have a good time. So we did a lot of other cool things together, so those are on my top 10, but that is one of my honorable mentions. I don't like winter as much as he does.
I love it. My favorite time of year. But our anniversary is also on my top 10 list.
What number?
I have that as number 9. And, you know, I could tell you everything that we do, but you could also look at the pictures. I'm going to tell you all a story, because she just mentioned our anniversary is January 3rd. Do you want to know why it's January 3rd? Well, my original plan 5.5 years ago was to ask Miss Caitlin Schneeman out on New Year's Eve. Now, we went twilight bowling with my family, and
insert picture. We have a picture.
It's a lovely time. I had a great time, and that was our first kiss as well. And it was just a lovely evening. And I was going to go drop her off at her home afterwards, and I was going to ask her out before she went inside. And I went, and we pulled up, and her lovely grandmother Nona came out to the car. Don't get me wrong. I love talking to Nona. Don't
It
misconstrue.
wasn't romantic. I get
It wasn't a time where I wanted to ask you out in front of your grandmother. That just wasn't exactly.
She would have loved that. Nona would have been like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's just, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So then we went to Chicago a couple days after that, precisely January 3rd, and that is where love has bloomed.
And do you remember how you asked me out? Not that this is a video about that, but you
This is rather embarrassing. It's a little cringe.
basically proposed. We went.
Look, guys, I am not exactly the
I thought it was
connoisseur.
funny.
I'm not the connoisseur of romance.
It
Or I
was-
used to not be. Now I'm pretty high up there. But okay, look, I made a joke about tying my shoe, and then I actually asked her out, and then I didn't know if she was
He was on one knee.
I was trying to
I was like, oh my god.
divert the situation. So it was like, you know how you send like an ultimatum text where it's like, oh, like, do you like me? And then you're like, oh, my grandma stole my phone and sent it. So you have a way out if they say no. Well, that was kind of my way out. You know what I mean?
You were just gonna run away or what?
No. But it's like I could play it off as a joke if you said no for some reason.
Oh, you'd be like.
Because I was,
oh.
you know what I mean? Look, I need it. Look, I don't handle rejection
Well, I said yes, and the rest is history.
It's true. Back to the list.
Okay. Wait. So what was your last honorable mention? Because
Wait, I still have two more.
Okay. What are your two more?
Next up, I have the Chicago Soul Fest of 2019.
Oh.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to the summer. Let's think about it. It was hotter than hell in downtown Chicago. I had just moved to the city for my internship with Nuveen, a subsidiary of TIAA.
Right.
And I did not have very many friends in the city. I am just a lonely little man who just returned from Thailand without his lady. And so I was a little nervous about being in Chicago all by myself, but good old pal Jacob Polhill was sharing stuff about a buddy playing at the Soul Fest, Nate Barksdale. You can find him on Spotify. Fantastic music. Very big fan. But I went to the Soul Fest, listened to the music, listened to their set. Very, very talented artist. I had a great time. And then they had an after party later that night where I got to go catch up with Jacob, meet some of his friends, and then meet up with Elena as well. And yes, a certain amount of alcohol was consumed. That was tequila and wine, and it was not
Weird
divine.
choice.
It was a horrible hangover.
That was a weird
Checks.
combo. Okay, and then what's your last one? Because I'm saving one of mine because I know it's on your top 10.
Next up is Mom's Weekend at the University of Illinois of 2019. Pretty much I was told more stories about how it went, and I really enjoyed it because I was dancing on tables at Red Lion, and there were many mothers on Mother's Weekend complimenting me on my moves.
Yeah, basically what happened, so it was my mom, me, and him, and we went out, and sometimes when you first bring him out, he's kind of like, I don't want to be here, meh.
Look, I want to clear that up. Anyone that thinks I'm a party animal, you're so wrong. I never go out.
But if you give him a few drinks, then he does become, I think, a party animal.
Think of me like a turtle. And you got to take off the shell. No, that's bad. Don't take that out. Take that out.
I don't know what he's.
That's
I don't
not
know what
I
kind of analogy you're going for.
That was wrong.
But
Don't
anyways,
even-
on Mom's Weekend,
Cut that.
he did get on I mean, a lot of people dance on the table, so it's not like you were the only one on a table, but you were the tallest person on a table. And you were kind of like one of the only guys because it was a lot of girls and their moms out. So my mom and I both got a lot of compliments on him. They're like, oh, is he with you? Like, oh, he's so cute. Look at him go. It was it was really cute.
And my knees hurt so bad that I could not walk regularly for 4 days after that. We're into the top 10, ladies and gentlemen.
Top 10. So my number 10, I'm pretty sure this is higher on your list. So let's just talk Halloween.
This is Halloween.
What number is that for you?
That's number 6 for me.
Okay. So we had a bunch of people come and visit for Halloween. I had friends come and visit, and he had friends come and visit.
I did.
I dressed up as the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, and I was really happy about that.
I lost a bet. And so I was Tony Romo as the announcer because no way in hell you could get me to wear a Dallas Cowboys jersey. So
Rude. But anyways, it was fun. We had so many people here. We had fun the whole weekend, Friday and Saturday. We had people over at his apartment, and that was really fun. We decorated, and it was just a good time.
it's lovely. It was nice to see Liz, Emily, Abby, Vincent, and all
Oh,
that
yeah,
as
we
well
went
because they visited too.
Yeah, we went to their apartment.
Fantastic. That's always a
Yeah.
great time seeing Talon and Emily. That's the other U of I combo.
Yeah, Talon or Emily, if you're watching this,
Top tier company. Big fan.
he loves you guys. I love you guys too. Okay, wait. So
I was about to say, wait a minute.
Yeah, I love you too. Okay, number 10.
Number 10, I had my 21st birthday party. Bless my parents' soul, they're lovely people, and they wanted to have a little bit of a shindig for my 21st, and who am I to say no? And so we had the slushy machine rolling with some margs, a bunch of friends over, had a bunch of family over, we're playing bags, just having fun, playing video games. It's a very good time. Very good time.
Nunzio's Pizza was there, I think.
Always top tier.
It was fun.
Nunzio, if you're watching, give me a discount.
Your aunt was there. Love your aunt. Shout out to Kathy. Okay.
Big fan.
We're on number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9 for me is my. I got.
Wait, I was rumbling too loud. I didn't even hear what you said.
I got a free trip to DC. That is my number 9. I don't want to bore you with the details, but I was basically.
Social policy is not boring.
I was advocating for social work policies, which is fun. That was great. But after we got done on the Hill, we went to some bars, got some good cheese fries, insert picture. Oh, that place was great. Went with a girl named Ellen and a girl named Claudia. They were
very nice people.
It was a hoot. I love that word,
hoot.
Nanny. But yeah, it was all paid for, so that was great. And I got to be, I was about to say a social justice warrior. I probably shouldn't say, I wasn't that, but I was.
You were a big girl on the Hill.
Yeah. And I got insert picture of me with my cool outfit taking cool shots.
Ellen did get some real nice candid shots out there.
Yeah, Ellen took some cool pictures. But yeah, that is my number 9.
Takes on the world.
Yeah.
Oh.
Number 9.
Memories. Number 9. I have. Oh, I already did number 9. I thought it said arrive in Chicago. No, it was anniversary in Chicago, which I already talked about. So let's go to your number 8.
Okay. My number 8. This is higher on your list, so let's just talk about it at the same time. Homecoming weekend is my number 8.
Okay.
And what number is it on?
We're going to talk later. That's my number 2.
Okay, so we will save homecoming.
We're going to save that for later.
So what is your number 8?
Number 8 was the trip I took to Charlotte, North Carolina with my fellow Nuveen interns and TIAA interns. They flew all of the interns out to their main campus in Charlotte. And you'll learn a bunch about the industry and what you're doing and all that. You meet some execs and whatnot. Got to meet the CEO of TIAA, very, very intelligent human being. He blows me out of the water in terms of mental capacity. But outside of that, they rented out a Dave and Buster's type deal. They had a bowling alley and all that stuff for all of us. So that was fun. And then a bunch of us went downtown and we went drinking and had a good time going to a couple different bars and then headed home. So it was a very good time. And it was kind of a way to make some friends within the interns.
Nice.
Very good.
Okay, number 7. I don't think this is on your list. Dad's weekend?
No.
Okay, so Dad's
It's
weekend.
honorable mention worthy. I'm not saying I didn't.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. So number 7 is Dad's weekend at U of I. I had my mom, my aunt, my uncle, and my cousin come, which I feel like probably isn't normal, to have a whole shit.
Crew,
yeah, but it was so fun. We all went bar hopping. We got some good food. Honestly, what sucked was the music wasn't great. Usually on mom's and dad's weekend, they play 80s music to
some classic rock goodies.
Yeah, to reel in the parents, but they were just playing dubstep and stuff
not dubstep, but pop music.
Well, just bar dance music, and I just wasn't feeling it, so I wrote
It's true. We have a picture somewhere of her writing
the
on
DJ
a napkin.
note. I slid him a note,
on
and I was
wet napkin.
Your music sucks. I don't think I said that, but I said something like that.
Something close.
But we also went to a football game. That was super
Against
fun.
Rutgers.
And we won, so that was fun. It's always
First half was very close, but then we just blew them out in the second.
It's always fun when we win.
Yeah.
Overall, good weekend. Love my fam.
We hung out with Kofi Coburn at Red Lion.
Oh yeah. Insert picture of my cousin.
No one knew who he was, but I knew.
My cousin who is 4. I don't want to. Brenna, if you're watching this, I love you, but you're short.
She's got to be 4'10".
Yeah, I think, and she was wearing heels that night, and she took a picture with Kofi, and it was so funny to see them together. Sure. But yeah, hopefully he makes it in the NBA.
Dude.
Okay.
Good guy.
So you're number.
Now I think this is on your list
7.
as well.
Okay, we can talk about it at the same time.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Meeting Casey Neistat and David Dobrik.
Oh, okay, so this was an honorable mention for me.
So you kind of explain the situation, and then I'll explain how I kind of moved into it.
Yeah, so I work at the Illini Union on campus.
Rep.
I work in event services, rep. I am one of the student...
Shout out Yash, John, all them.
Yeah, I was one of like the student managers, and
Yasser too.
whenever a celebrity would come, usually every fall a celebrity comes to campus and does some kind of like tour and like talks to all the students. And this year we had the person that was scheduled was David Dobrik, but then at the very last minute, and by last minute I mean within like an hour of him showing up, we got a call that was like, there's some other YouTubers with him. They're all on the South Quad driving around. And that's when we realized it's the whole vlog squad, which my manager, who's like 50, was like, who are these people? What is a vlog?
To be fair, I didn't know either.
Yeah, I didn't know who some of them were, but I did know Casey Neistat. So when I heard...
Well, he's not on the vlog squad.
True,
It was vlog
like,
squad
yeah.
plus Casey Neistat.
Yeah, but I basically weaseled my way in to being with them because my manager was like, we're only having like a few select people be with them and no one else is allowed. And I remember I went to my manager and I was like, well, I have a master key and I think someone should be with him at all times who has a master key. So in case like crazy fans come out,
You're a smart cookie.
so I should be able to like basically lock myself in a room with him is basically what I should be able to.
Is that a threat?
But like so that he can get away from people.
Hi, David.
And I know all like the backstage ways to get people from like rooms to room. So I basically sold myself, and my boss was like, you know what, Caitlin, sure, you can be with him. So I got to just hang out with him all night. So I text Nick and I was like, dude, you need to get here and just hang out with us. Because literally he showed up and we all just sat in a room and were eating Culver's.
And so at the time I was studying for an exam that I had the next day. And
yeah, you at first were like, I can't come.
Look, Caitlin, I'm sorry that I tried to value my academic success for a brief moment. And then I got a Snapchat, which ended up being a picture of, or not a picture, a video of Caitlin. And then it was of Casey Neistat saying, like, you should come hang out. And I was like, well, hot diggity dog. I gotta go. And so I went. And it was a great time. Got to meet Casey and David. We all got a picture at the end of it.
They were all super nice. Like, not that anyone has ever come that's mean, but I feel like sometimes you just expect people who are super famous to either be full of themselves or just like expect other people to do things for them, and they were just so chill. Like they
were super nice.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that was fun. Oh, so my number 6 was Christmas, so we can go to your number 6.
Number 6 was Halloween. Next.
Oh, okay. Number 5, my birthday. So what number is this on your list?
This is number 4.
Okay.
So by the way, I did not just fart. That was the chair.
So for my birthday, I like to just, make a big deal about my birthday. And we decided this whole trip to go to Nashville and then the Smoky Mountains.
And by we, she means her.
Yeah, I planned this whole trip and was like, Nick, we need to do this. And you have to say yes because it's my birthday.
Agreed.
But Nashville was so much fun. I love country music. He doesn't really like country music, but I had a great time. All of the bars were so fun, especially all like the newer bars that are owned by different country singers. But the food was bomb. You can agree to that.
The food was phenomenal. Yeah. Nashville hot chicken, top tier. Absolutely loved it.
That sandwich we got on the second day made me cry, but it was so good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So then we drove after Nashville to the Smoky Mountains because one night we were staying in an Airbnb and the other night we were camping, like legit camping, because I felt the need to like be adventurous. And the Airbnb was lovely.
It was truly.
In the backyard was like a huge creek that ran right under a porch. So if you left the porch door open, you could hear the river and it sounded like it was raining all night, which I love that.
Also, they had a really old board game that had to do with survival. You had to decide there was like a multiple choice option. It gave you a scenario like, oh, you were just bitten by a rattlesnake or something.
We did play that. I'll try and
so that
find
was really
what
cool.
that was.
I enjoyed that. That was nifty.
But then the next day, things got rough.
This is my number 4, for anyone curious.
So I found a place to camp online and I had to buy a permit. And he was worried. He's like, oh, we're going to be the only people at this campground. Like, what if something...
Foreshadowing!
And I was like, no, 3 other people have bought permits, so we're not going to be alone. Like, there's going to be other people there for sure. I purposely bought a permit at a spot that had other people there because I didn't want to be alone. So the place that we were camping is a 2-mile hike into the forest because I was like, we're not going to be basic and just drive up and camp. Like, cool for people who do that, but like I wanted to like actually hike. Yeah. So I didn't realize the entire 2-mile hike was up. Like
80 floors of elevation. 80 floors.
Nick looked really cool. I have pictures of me walking behind you holding the...
Do I care if I looked cool?
I think you looked cool.
No. I was dying.
So finally we got there.
I'm not kidding when I say we would go 40 feet forward. So I mean it was like this angle, right? I would go 40 feet and I would be bent over.
It was good
for like an hour.
It was good for your heart. So we get there. We get there and I was like, oh, we're just the first people here because the place is empty. It's probably like 4 o'clock. So we set up our tent and just like chill outside. And I think we watched like a YouTube video, which I know isn't like camping worthy, but we didn't really have anything else to do. But then it starts getting dark.
Darkness has fallen upon us.
And no one else is there. And it starts to drizzle.
Was Nick correct? Yes. And Say it with me. Nick was right.
I was like, oh no, we're about to just camp all night alone in the pitch black in the dark. And there was like a raging river right next to it. So
okay, raging river. Okay. It was a downhill like stream.
But it was loud.
It was loud enough where you couldn't really hear anything over it.
Yeah. And so if you know anything about the Smoky Mountains, it's known for having bears. Not grizzly bears, but black bears.
We saw a black bear. You can also insert this picture. We saw it in a tree.
A baby.
And people were trying to disturb it, and we were yelling, leave him alone!
Basically. That night ended up, I thought it was going to be relaxing and fun. It ended up being so stressful.
It was nightmare fuel, truly.
Yeah, like how did you...
I have a distinct memory of you lay down in there, and in your head, you're in survival mode, and you're like, okay, so the stream is projecting approximately X amount of sound in decibels, and I can probably hear an approaching coyote or black bear within 10 feet of the tent. Now, at that point, do I jump outside and go, oh God, with my knife, or do I wait for it to come up to the tent and rip me to shreds?
There's like a famous movie, or not super famous, but it's about like a bear and it's based on a true story.
We literally have seen it.
Yeah, and that's what I kept thinking of because the bear attacked them through the tent. So I was just laying there, and we were being so silly, honestly, because black bears don't even attack people.
There was not anything near us the entire night, I guarantee it.
Well, so we didn't really sleep that night, and
at all. But I was just constantly checking outside the tent, monitoring the sun's movements.
So once it literally just gets the teensiest amount of sunlight out, we start packing up and we're like, we need to get out of here. And what did we find? Like pretty close.
Fresh bear crap on the trail. And I'm talking fresh.
And so we were like, we basically started jogging back.
Ratatouille, apple booty, we gotta move.
And then we got in the car and we're like, oh my gosh, I think we went and got McDonald's breakfast.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Because we're, those kind of campers. So note to self, I might just drive up and camp from now on.
Someone remember this the next time she makes us go camping. True. Remember.
Okay.
Next up is number 5 on Nick's list, right?
Yeah.
Number 5 was the day I got my new Veeam job offer. So I'm going to tell you 2 stories. I'll tell you about the day that I got the internship offer and then about when I got the job offer. Now, they are headquartered in New York, and so as you know, that's a different time zone than the one we are currently in, which is Central. And they are in Eastern. Now, they told me they were going to call me around 9 o'clock, and I assumed that was Central Time, and now this was for my internship. So my natural body clock woke me up at 8 o'clock, and I went to go number 2. And so I'm in the bathroom at 8 a.m., and I have my roommate on, we share a bathroom, so he's right on the other side, and I'm getting a call, and I'm like, oh God, I have calculated incorrectly. And so I answered it while taking a donger, and they eventually offered me the internship, and I was ecstatic to accept and whatnot, but it was all while going poop. But for my job offer, I got an email that said, Nick, do you have time to talk? And I was like, oh no, that's not good. Or maybe this guy, I don't know. And so I responded within 10 minutes of that email, like, yes, anytime, let me know. and then they didn't respond for like 2 hours, and I was sweating the whole time, pacing, and we were Googling whether them emailing you that is a good or a bad thing.
Yeah, we were both we were hanging out, and I was like, it has to be good, because why would they call you to be like, sorry, you don't get the job? That would be scummy.
It's hard to say. But eventually they called, and then they offered it to me, and I was freaking the frick out. But no, it was a fantastic day for me. Very big fan of 2019.
Got you a little cookie dough cake.
This is true. You can insert that photo as well. It was delicious. Actually, it was melting as we were driving, so I had to try and eat the whole thing in one sitting.
True. Okay.
Before dinner.
Wait, so that was your number... 5. Okay, so my number 4, which I know is higher on your list, so we can just talk about it at the same time. Mexico?
Yes.
So, what number is that on yours?
That is number 3.
Cool.
And Nashville and the Smokies are my number 4, so
gotcha.
I'll double jump here.
Okay. Mexico was a super last-minute trip.
It was.
We went for our spring break. I got a fat tax return, so I was like, you know what, let's do something fun for spring break. And I was looking on Expedia, and they have like travel deals. This is probably not even interesting to listen to, but it's a good tip that you can get your flight and like an all-inclusive resort together, which basically pays, that's like the whole trip, because our all-inclusive resort was all our food and the hotel, so we literally didn't have to leave, and we didn't have to pay for anything once we got there.
This is true.
We did other stuff. We basically went on a honeymoon. Like, it seems like the kind of honeymoon trip that you go on.
Agreed.
We went to Chichen Itza. We went on a submarine ride. We went kayaking. It was a great time. Like, we had a...
See, I want to say that hole in the lake was called a cinturón, but that's a belt.
Yeah, we went...
That just sounds right, but I know that means
like
belt.
Ancient hole in the ground, which sounds...
That sounds so disrespectful.
It's something sacred in there. I'm pretty sure they did like...
You mean an underground lake, I'm pretty sure?
Something like that.
Mexican name.
And you can swim in them, because people were swimming in them, and there was little like fish eating stuff off their feet. But overall, the trip was great, and it was a really nice, relaxing like break.
Cenote.
Yeah.
That's what it was, not cinturón, Nick, you idiot.
Yeah.
Profe, if you're watching, I'm really sorry.
But it was a really fun, just, I think, escape and like break for a week to just get away. And we also just got to chill on a beach. It was a nice mix of like doing exciting things and also just like doing nothing and drinking so many daiquiris.
It was pure bliss. Now I want you all to imagine, you're Nick, I'm a larger dude, and so I'm laying down. I have a plate of just buffalo wings and french fries on my stomach, and I'm reading my Stephen King novel. I've drank. I've had a lot to drink.
You drank so much and you were drunk.
That I now was being circled by seagulls because I was potential prey at this point. But it was amazing. I loved it. Great time. 10 out of 10 would go back.
Yeah, I liked that resort. Oh, and our view was so nice. We had like one of the oceanside. We didn't even ask for that, and they just gave us one of the oceanside views. So we just every day like opened our windows and saw the ocean. It was great.
It was lovely.
Okay, so my number 3, my college graduation.
Oh, lovely time.
Yeah, so I don't even know what to say that much besides my family all came. I mean, I graduated college. That's an important thing. I feel like nowadays.
Big old deal.
We all went out to dinner afterwards, and I probably should have organized it better and gotten like a private room.
It's all good.
We just got one long table, kind of like the Last Supper style. And,
you're not wrong. It was pretty accurate.
And so I just decided to like hop around the table to talk to everyone. And every time I hopped around, the waitress would get really annoyed with me and be like, why is she moving? And everyone kept buying me drinks. So I was just a buzzed, happy mess. But nice. Yeah, it was great. Like, I feel really bad that we're not going to get to walk across the stage. Like, I feel bad that you won't get to walk across the stage this weekend.
Oddly enough, I feel like I'm already out of college. Like, I think once it was canceled, I kind of just came to terms with it, and it's like, dog, I'm an adult now.
Hopefully it's rescheduled for, like, August or something.
To be real, I probably don't even want to go at that point. It's just, there's no reason.
We going. Okay, so that was my number 3, my college graduation.
Well, my number 3 was spring break, so next up for your number 2.
Okay, my number 2. So my number 2... After I graduated and after we went on a trip together, which I'm pretty sure is both of our number 1s that we'll talk about.
Yeah.
I went on a trip to Europe.
Oui.
I planned this with my good friend named Cece, shout out. And we basically came up with this crazy plan. We went to 13 countries in 25 days. So basically every 2 days we like went to a new country, and it was crazy. We also did it on a pretty low budget. We just stayed in hostels. We stayed in hostels, cheap Airbnbs. The planes there are like $15-20 to fly between countries, so it was super easy. It was honestly just like, I don't want to harp on that too long because it's just such a big trip. And we made videos on that called Train Talks, which if you want to go watch those.
Very funny, very enjoyable.
We called it the European Bar Crawl, and we have an Instagram for it because we're extra. I didn't even end up drinking that much because I was getting really bad migraines, which was sad, but I think it's because of like the time change and my stress. But it was great. I loved it. Time of my life. Half my scrapbook is pictures of that.
That is true.
Love it.
Number 2 on Nick's top 10 2019 moments is homecoming weekend. Illinois versus number 6 undefeated Wisconsin. It was Caitlin and I with both of my parents, and we were sitting in the Wisconsin Badgers section because they bought the tickets. Bless their soul, love them to death. But we were surrounded by Badgers fans at that point. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pretty contested first half. It was pretty close, and then it came down to the wire in the second half, and it came down to a game-winning field goal. And you know what happened after that? We stormed the field, and we stormed it hard, ladies and gentlemen. Funny story here. My old boss, Alex, bless his soul, great guy, one of my favorite bosses. So he is on the video crew for a football team, and so he was snapping away as everyone stormed the field. And he caught me and Caitlin in one of the pictures. You can check my cover photo for it, but that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, it was just awesome. After the game, my parents were not sore losers. We still had a great time going to bars and whatnot. And honestly, kudos to them because I probably would have been a little upset. So we had some boozy milkshakes that were very good.
Guido, yeah, that was really good. This was my number 8. It was a great time. He cares about football a lot more than I do. But still,
we have a legacy here.
It was,
or we used to, but
it seemed like the odds of us winning that game were 99-1, or wait, 1-99. We were gonna lose, basically.
Thank you, mathematician.
And I just remember, we were in the Badger section, so I was just like, we're about to lose, and we're being surrounded by a bunch of Badger fans, and it was great. It was a good time. I took one of the Daily Illini newspapers from when we won, and I'm gonna keep that. But yeah, great memory for our last homecoming.
And shout out to Nick Talon and Emily Gusky for going to Cam's with us the Friday before homecoming because Cam's did close down that weekend.
Yeah.
Known as the Cam's Miracle.
Yeah, we literally sacrificed Cam's, the most like memorable bar on campus, for this win, and I don't think it was worth it.
Debatable. Anyways, go to your number 1.
Well,
that's also my number 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we have the same number 1. So we went on a trip together to Thailand the day after I graduated because we just like to plan things back to back. So the trip we went on, I have went on a lot of volunteer trips, and I really wanted to make him come. I really wanted to get him to come on a trip because I knew he would love it because you get to work with kids, and it's not like you love kids, but I feel like you do well with kids. You get to do like physical labor, which I knew you'd do well at that. Like you would like and you just feel good. You meet the coolest locals because you stay in villages with locals, so you get to know everyone, and you don't stay in like a hotel and just drive somewhere every day. Like you stay where you're working, and it was so much fun and so pretty. Thailand, we didn't even go during the rainy season when like everything is green and luscious. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but but
the luscious jungle.
It was still really pretty. We watched the Game of Thrones finale in Thailand. That was really fun.
Shout out to Amelia. I am a large man that sweats a lot in the United States. Now put a large man that sweats a lot in Thailand and he sweats even more. It was hotter than all hell. But it was a great time. Loved the food. Top 10. My immune system was digging it, which was surprising. Had some quality toilet times.
BMs?
Body movements.
Bowel movements.
Cut that one.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I really have some unforgettable memories when it comes to Thailand. I met some amazing people. Shout out Alejandro. I mean, knew the man for 2 weeks, but feels like a brother. Love that guy. Got to visit them soon. Bungee jumping blew my mind. Y'all, if you guys know me, you know that there's not a chance in hell that I would ever bungee jump.
Tell them this, like, build up.
Okay, so you guys know how I mentioned that I'm a larger boy. Well, a little too large for some. And so there was tandem bungee jumping, and you
where
could do
two
it.
People go at the same time.
2 people. Well, old Thickum over here, that's me.
But wait, before you say this, I would like to say that he was terrified and refused to go.
I'm not kidding that I said I was going to poop my pants if I did.
And so I convinced him. I had to like talk him into going.
And Mike gave me some great
Shout
speeches.
out to Mike.
Mike was with me every step of the way.
Yeah, and so finally we convinced him to go as long as he would go with me, and we were gonna go over together. So we literally walk up to they have to weigh you before, because I think you have to be under a certain amount of weight, and we were 2 pounds overweight. And literally we were like, maybe if we just go to the bathroom real quick, we can come back.
Trust me, because I was either I was gonna vomit or I was gonna.
So
that's what I'm saying. I was that nervous.
When that happened, my heart started racing because I'm like, I cannot go alone. But
well, and the worst part is they said you can. So all the tandems were going first, and then there were other people going by themselves when all the tandems were done. And they said, well, you're already strapped up, so you guys can still go by yourselves now. But if you're going to, big old Thickums, you got to go first, and that's me if you don't understand the names. And so they were like, yeah, so you got to go first. And so I'm having an absolute mental breakdown at this point. And at that point, I just tossed my life away. I said, yeah, let's just do it. Let's just go for it. And
I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked, and I was so proud of you.
And if I want to get, my hands are sweating so bad right now. If I just sit there, if I close my eyes, and I think about,
confirmed.
If I just think about riding up, and then the dude looks at me and he goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, And then I remember I'm holding at the top, and so from the bottom looking up, it's not that high up, but once you get up there, you can literally see the surrounding mountains and like the edge of the city. I'm talking, it is absolutely terrifying as you look around. You're like, I feel like I'm jumping into a volcano. And so there's a little pit of water at the bottom.
Yeah, you jump basically on top of a little lake.
And so the other thing is, so you're supposed to just fall and then have your head go down, so you go down straight, right? Well, I was too far from the edge, so I was like, if I jump a little, I might get too close or I'll fall off, and I don't want to go yet. Oh man, my hands are sweating so bad.
You just jumped wrong, basically.
So I just jumped, but I went down like this. So then at some point, I went whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Basically, you're supposed to just head dive so that your legs don't snap, and he kind of jumped off.
Like
so at one point, his legs. So everyone watching, you could like hear in the crowd like,
everyone thought I passed out. I remember every second to it.
Because he went limp and his arms just dangled, and I was like, oh my gosh, his legs broke and he passed out. I freaked out for a couple seconds, but then you were like, I'm okay.
I felt fine. And my ankles didn't hurt at all, even though I snapped them. But I mean, so there was that.
But then I went. I did not have the guts to go alone. I ended up going with a guy named Jason. Shout out to him. Yeah, because literally they were like, "Can someone go with her? Because someone needs to go with her, or she's not going." Because I couldn't go alone. And honestly, bless Jason. Because once we got up there,
he cracked me up. He yeeted you guys off of there.
Once we got up there, I looked over and I'm like, there is no way in HE double hockey sticks that I'm going over. And
ain't no way in hell.
And he just yeeted us over. So shout out to him. And so the last part that we're forgetting, which I think is like the biggest part, elephants. We got to hang out with sort of wild elephants. They were in one of like their national parks, and we basically had to find them, and then we brought them to like a feeding station and helped wash them, and that was awesome. Like, I've never been that close to an elephant in my life. I've only seen them at like zoos.
Another shout out to Mike, because you guys don't understand, when we're talking we had to trek for elephants, that we did not know how long the trek would take. We could find them within 10 minutes or it could be 5 hours. They told us be prepared for both. And I'm not kidding you, I don't know how the elephants do this, but I'm talking, there were like faces of the cliff or whatever that were like this. This is no exaggeration. You're grabbing shrubs as you're climbing up. It was horrible. I was sweating like crazy. I almost passed out. And you could hear the elephants on the top here. and I almost passed out and fell down and died. Okay, that's a little bit. But Mike actually pushed me up over the ledge. So Mike, bless your soul, you were the homiest of homies. Big fan of Mike, but yeah, no, that was pretty awesome.
And we got in the river with them. I didn't get too close to them because I was scared that they might either fall on me or like step on me, and then I
didn't get in because I saw them poop.
Yeah, I mean that is part of the hazards of the activity, but
no E. coli for me.
Overall, it was so fun. And I also went on to Laos afterwards. He had to go back because he had his internship in Chicago, but I went on to Laos, which is a whole another level of just beautiful. We literally were like in the middle of mountains, and it was I genuinely can't describe it. I'll just show some pictures because it's the prettiest place I've ever been, and the most peaceful place, and the people in the village were the sweetest people I've ever met. At the end of the trip, all of the locals get together and we all sit on the ground, and they came around and put bracelets on all of us, and as they were putting bracelets on us, they blessed us and they told us just like, thank you for coming to volunteer in our village. They just told you like memories from the trip. I was bawling like a baby because we were there for only like 2 weeks and we volunteered, and I had more fun volunteering than I felt like I did anything for them. Like I felt like they did more for me. So just having them be so sweet, I get emotional just thinking about it now. But yeah. And then I went on a one-way ticket to Europe. And I didn't buy my return flight home. I remember you were getting worried about this. I didn't buy my return flight home to America until like a week before.
Stupid.
Until a week before I came home, because I was like,
You're a fool.
I was like, I'm waiting for a good deal.
It was not coming.
I mean, I got a good deal. I think I got a one-way ticket for like $250.
My favorite Thailand moment was we're all singing karaoke, and we're all just singing karaoke. Me and my boy Alejandro rapped Super Bass by Nicki Minaj in this remote Thai area, word for word. I felt like a superstar. I really did. But I mean, that was just pure bliss. You just love everybody. And the one thing I really loved is we busted our ASS out on the permaculture plot. My main man Dylan, love you to death, man. Learned a lot about permaculture and whatnot, but absolutely loved it out there. You work your booty off, and so at the end, when you're having these drinks or whatever, it just feels like it paid off tenfold. And I love tracking the progress that they post on the Give page of the permaculture plot, because you can see everyone's individual efforts kind of paying off. And so
you guys dug a catfish pond?
We did.
Yeah.
And I remember we were laying all the PVC pipes for the irrigation system, and it was fantastic. It's just exciting to. The one thing I really enjoyed is you knew you were doing the work. You were doing the work that they wanted. We weren't pushing a project on them. It was stuff that they really wanted to do. So I really enjoyed that.
We could do a whole different video just about how great Give is, the organization we volunteered with, just because I'm
very conscious of volunteer programs and wary, but very, very happy with Give and what they offered.
They only do projects that the locals want. Okay, so that is now our top 10 list of 2019. I don't know. I'm 99% sure that 2020 is not going to be able to beat.
We're struggling. We're off to a slow start.
But
I'll put it that much.
Who knows? Maybe by the end of the year.
Maybe I'll learn how to juggle.
Yeah, maybe we'll go on a trip to Hawaii.
Probably not.